Nobody did that here.
There's no attraction here, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
Between us?
Home Beach and Boise. Yeah, no.
I got him to blush in 5 seconds. All right, that's a record.
Welcome back to the Never Know podcast. I'm your host, Daniel, or Danger, depending how you know me. Our guest today, she is a comedian, a YouTuber, a musician, and a self-identified truth teller.
Yeah.
Among other things. Nicole Arbour, how we doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Nice to meet you, Danger.
You as well.
Boise Danger.
Yep.
There's no danger in Boise.
Oh, well, you never know.
I'm being silly. We opened talking about... I'm going to drink this coffee and... All right.
All right. Well, before we kind of get into you and your background, I was curious, what do you think of Boise so far, though?
Honestly, I think it's really fun. I think Boise is cool. I think Boise people are fun. I love the little strip of restaurants on 8th. And Diablo's is one of my favorite restaurants.
She even knows
ever.
8th Street.
Yeah.
Oh,
like a local.
Yeah, I'm a local
Certified.
now. Certified lover boy.
Certified.
Diablo's, have you been there?
I think once.
No.
It's so good. It's on 8th Street.
What kind of food is it?
Mexican. And I was like having a meal yesterday, but it was like
Coming from SoCal, there's no good Mexican here.
That's good. It's really good. Oh, I was having an issue yesterday because I took my first bite. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is one of the best meals I've ever had in my life.
Really?
That good.
Yeah. And then they added in the cocktail, and I was like, this is one of the best drinks I've ever had in my life.
See, usually we, like us from Idaho, we get shit on by the Californians who come here for school, and they're like, don't say you have Mexican food here because it's awful and you don't.
Go to Diablo's. It's really, really good.
Not a paid partnership.
Not a paid partnership. I hope so in the future.
Okay.
But
Right.
Hope I get the brand deal. But I'll just go there. It's fun. And I like how most of your clothing stores are selling clothes that are the color of the mountains. It's just like...
Never noticed that.
Yeah, it's
I'm also
like the
colorblind
browns.
though, so...
Are you really?
I am colorblind.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wish they
You
give me
have
a
other
disability
skills?
card.
Well, that's not only when you're
mean-
driving, maybe?
He used to want to be a pilot.
I can't be a pilot, yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
Sorry.
Heartbreaking.
Did you really want to be a pilot?
I did when in kindergarten, and then they found out I was colorblind because I drew my skies purple and my grass brown. And they're like, you need to get his eyes checked. And
I
they're
could
like,
just be California, too, though.
That's true. Oh, that's so true.
It could be California, I guess.
Oh,
But no.
I'm sorry that your kindergarten dream didn't come true. I
all
used to
good.
want to be a dinosaur in kindergarten.
Living
so
the dream here, though.
we're both living our
Used to be
alternative
a
lives.
dinosaur.
Besides 8th Street, though, have you kind of had a chance to kind of look around downtown and hang out? Like, how long have you been in town for?
A couple days now, and this is my 3rd time to Boise.
Oh.
And I've done some fun things. Like, you
Any
guys...
nightlife stuff? Like,
You been to the, Humpin' Hannah's or anything like that?
No, that sounds
Oh,
amazing. Are we doing
you
that
haven't
later?
been to Humpin' Hannah's?
No.
So Rocky Johnson is the main act, right? And is the crazy, most sparkly girl you've ever seen in your life, with the biggest rack, and she throws sex toys into the crowd if you go nuts. And you're supposed to bring her a bra, and she puts it on the ceiling. You walk in, you look up, it's just thousands and
Humpin'
thousands
Hannah's
of bras.
is called?
Humpin'
Yeah.
Hannah's.
Oh, where's that?
Off of Main and Capitol, right?
Yeah.
Main and Capitol.
Mormons gone wild. Yes.
Yeah, she's crazy.
I love that. I
Yeah.
freaking love.
It's a
Well,
great time.
we
She's
know
on-
where we're going for brunch. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're going.
Yeah, I don't know. Brunch, well, I don't know. It's nightclub, though.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting any
Yeah, I don't think you're getting
scrambled
action
eggs
at
over
brunch.
there, but
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Something scrambled, maybe.
yeah.
But
Hey.
it won't be eggs.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
I haven't been there, but I'll go. I would love that.
Should definitely
That sounds
check
like
it
a
out,
vibe.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you want your country vibe, go to, what is it?
I get enough
Roddy's?
of that. I've been in Nashville a lot.
Okay.
So I've countryed. I love it. There's a guy today at what we were at just now that looked like Luke Combs, and I wanted to call him that the whole time. I didn't till the end.
He was here
The end.
like a year ago, I think.
he did a concert here.
He's pretty great.
Yeah.
Have you met him?
No, not yet.
Have you seen him at concert?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Like I'm like proud of him for what he does, but I'm not like a fan of the music. I'm not like
Sure.
I need this.
Sure.
So not a big country fan.
Oh, I do like country, but I like I love Famous Friends. Last year was my favorite song of the whole year. Like Chris Young and who's the other person on it? Come on.
No idea.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I always forget his name. I'll remember it in a second. I will remember it. If it's like a song that's about like we're gonna go like drinking and have a good time and Nelly's on it randomly, I fuck with it.
Okay. Is it
There you
Nelly?
go.
Is Nelly the person on it?
No, it's not Nelly.
Okay.
It's like it's a light skinned black guy who's freaking awesome.
Lil Nas X?
No, a country artist.
Isn't he a country artist? With Old Town Road, is that not country?
No, the other guy was
I had this
country.
debate the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
It's country trap, actually, is the official genre.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it country trap country.
Oh, I didn't know. What's it? Kane Brown.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Kane Brown. Yeah. We figured
Sure.
it out.
Sounds
Let's go with
familiar.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys aren't country fans, all right.
It's grown on me slowly.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Morgan
didn't-
Wallen's helped a lot. He's got-
Morgan's freaking great.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm a John Party guy.
John Party's
That's
fun
my,
too.
That's my country guy.
Yeah. See, I like those kind of guys. I even love like the old big and rich. Get into it. Like I like the we're getting drunk and gonna
Yeah.
do stupid shit country.
Yeah.
I don't like the oh my dog died and my girl left me. Like I don't care, bro.
Sure.
Welcome to life.
Sure.
Well, I'm glad Boise has treated you nicely. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah.
So kind of like going back, because you're obviously, you have like over 1.5 million followers on Instagram. You have
Yeah.
almost 500,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
How did you like kind of get to that point? Because I, when I was doing my deep dive, my research,
Ooh.
I saw you were a cheerleader for the Raptors. Is that
Yeah.
kind of what helped, kind of bring you up, or?
Actually, not really for the comedy stuff at all. At the same time I was on the Raptors, I was doing stand-up. So I would leave the games and like run and do my sets and then run to my second set. So I'd have like my warm-ups on and have to take them off and switch when I got to the venue. And it wasn't until I was a waitress at Hooters that I ended up doing comedy on TV. Because did you see this clip or no?
No.
Oh, this is a true story. Okay, so I was like, okay, I've been a Raptors girl. I've been a Coors Light girl. I've been a Molson girl. I've been like all these different girls. I was like, what's the girl I still have to be? A Hooters girl. Like, so I complete the collection. And then I walked into Hooters and I just like asked for the manager and I was like, hi, I have to work here because there's a collection and this is the last one on my collection. And he's like, you might be crazy, but can you wear the outfit? I'm like, yeah. Do you have any experience? No. I got this though. It's slinging wings. Come on. And he gave me a job so that I could check it off my list. And it was probably like, I think it was like the second week I was there. I was serving this guy who was like a huge sportscaster, like had a huge radio show. And I sat there making fun of baseball players that I knew while I was serving him and just talking absolute shit. And he's like, you're hilarious. What are you doing here? I'm like, well, actually, I'm a comedian and I have a list and I have to check these things off. And he's like, do you want to be on TV? I was like, yeah. And like the next day or a couple days later, I was on Canada's version of ESPN. And then that turned into doing a bunch of episodes there and then flipping over to Canada's version of MTV.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
like what on like Canada's ESPN, what does that look like for comedy? Like you have your own segment where you just roast all the players, or?
Well, I was on like a talk show. So it was like a bunch of people
Oh.
sat around and
She's like the Stephen A. Smith of Canada.
I don't even know that reference, but I agree.
He's just like an
Or
outlandish.
Skip Bayless?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope. Sorry. Canada. Yeah, we didn't have ESPN, so I didn't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but there'd be like 4 people sitting in these fun chairs. It's called Off the Record. One host in the middle. They'd bring up a topic, and it was usually like the biggest athletes in the world and me. Like, it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. There was no reason for me to be there, but I would talk shit.
New character unlocked.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, what are the odds? You're just waitressing at Hooters and make the right joke to the right guy, and
Exactly.
now you're on TV.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I went. Yeah.
Yeah. So was that something you always wanted to do, comedy? Was that like always your passion growing up and stuff?
I was always an idiot. Like, I was always silly. Everybody knew, like, I was funny. I would get in trouble in class for cracking jokes, and then at dance class, and I was in musical comedy and all that kind of stuff. And then when it came to college, I was supposed to go in for political science because I had a scholarship for that, or for dance and acting. At the last second, I saw a course that was for comedy, the actual comedy school in college in Canada. And I was like, I think I'm supposed to do this. And my parents were like, no, you're not. You're not even funny. But they eventually let me audition. And my parents were like, if the dean says you're good and you have a future, we'll let you do it. And then I got like a partial scholarship, I think, for that one.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, but I was on stage doing stand-up like a week later.
That has to be like a Canada only school though. There's no way the
No,
United
it's not.
States would have a a comedian school.
Yeah, there was a lot of Americans in my class and people from
But
like
this
the
is
UK.
in Canada, right?
It's in Canada.
I say because there's no way a comedy class
Yeah.
would fly in the United States.
Yeah, all of your classes are jokes.
Yeah, we can't take comedy.
You guys are like education.
yeah,
Yeah, just
exactly.
pay us money. It's adult babysitting, American college.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But our school though was run by
So like how many people were in the school or class?
Good question. There was a couple hundred people in it. But they told us on day 1, they were like, "Hey, you 3," they like brought 3 of us out. They're like, "You 3 are the only 3 we think can actually do this and will do this, but 3 people don't pay for this program. So everybody else is here. They'll get what they get from it, but you 3 are the 3 we identify."
So who were the other 2? Did they make it?
They sure did. Yeah, they were like,
can you name drop them?
Yeah, Marty Adams. He kills it in Canada.
Okay.
And he's on a bunch of TV shows. And then Quinn Anthony, I believe, is still doing stand-up. I'm not sure
I think
if
I've heard
know
of
him.
Quinn Anthony.
He's really funny.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Have you worked with any like the mainstream like U.S. comics like today, like Chappelle or Andrew Schultz, Rogan? Like those
I've done
kinda...
shows, like random stand-up shows here and there with a bunch of them, but I haven't done a bunch of stand-up in the last few years because like I'd have stalkers show up and shit.
Really?
Yeah, and actually Brendan Schaub was like super sweet and super nice and DM'd me about stalkers because he had some too, and he's like, "Hey, once you get in the club, you'll be fine. Like, don't worry." And I'm like, "Yeah, but comedians generally aren't that ripped and don't carry, so
yeah,
like you guys are saying nice things, but it got weird. Like sometimes people would show up."
Damn.
So
that is a little freaky.
Yeah, since Canada obviously has like a reputation for everybody being like super nice.
Yeah.
Is there like a difference in like what's funny in a joke in Canada versus the US, or like how you like the jokes you make to an audience?
I think that we're actually way more vulgar and like dirty and crass and funny and like witty and similar comedy to like the UK because we don't take ourselves that seriously.
Right.
We're like, we're Canada. Like we got to make fun of ourselves. Do you agree, Leanne?
Sorry. Didn't expect that toss.
Oh, there we go.
I do agree. I do completely agree with that statement.
Yeah, we don't take ourselves seriously. The whole world makes fun of us. We make fun of ourselves 10 times more.
Yeah, we're always getting made fun of for being way too nice, but it's like if you can't make fun of yourself, then
you're America.
Yeah.
Did you watch How I Met Your Mother?
A little bit. When they made all the Canada jokes?
Yeah, because Robin, like you're saying, like we don't take ourselves seriously, but on that show, you make one joke and she gets like in your face about it.
Yeah. Well, about being Canadian, we
Right.
take that very seriously.
Oh, gotcha.
No, we don't. Mike Myers wrote that song, Blame Canada, that was in the South Park movie years ago.
Oh, yeah.
We make fun of ourselves. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so since you came into college, like with the idea you're going to do like poli-sci and you were always like comedy, were you a fan of like Bill Maher or like any of them?
Yes, Bill Maher. Okay, I loved Bill Maher. I thought he was great, but then like Stephen Colbert was my crush. Like that was like my actual guy crush. I had a photo of him up on my wall. I was such a weird girl. I loved him, and I loved like Jon Stewart. I was like, whew, those are the 2 for me. But they got a little too wokish for me the last few years. But Bill Maher, man, he has circled back. He's freaking killer.
Yeah.
How do you feel about him?
I like Bill Maher. I mean, obviously I don't agree with everything, but you're not going to agree with everything everybody says.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm a fan. Yeah, for sure.
I think he's awesome. I would love to be on his show.
Have you ever been asked or anything?
No.
Ever been in contact?
The contact we had was that he put out, he did a monologue that was so similar to my Dear Fat People video that people did a side-by-side, a split screen of it online, and it was going viral, and I guess his team must have seen that because it was so similar. And I like to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure his writers, or whoever did that, they didn't remember seeing my video or whatever, but it was very, very close.
That'd be kind of cool though to kind of have like your idol essentially like
do
almost
my thing.
mirror for mirror.
Yeah. Well, that video exists. It's like it's a remix video.
Okay.
And it was the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. They just like
joke for joke almost.
It was joke for joke.
Wow.
Yeah. Even the ones about like, because I say a thing like you wouldn't be like, oh, smoke, like dear smokers. Smoking is the same.
Yeah.
You wouldn't tell people, I'm fucking up my own jokes. You wouldn't tell people smoking is okay or like whatever. I made a joke about that, and then he made the exact same joke word for word almost.
No way.
Yeah. It happens. Like,
you can't avoid that.
No, I don't think you can. I purposely don't watch Bill Burr because I love him. He's fucking great. But we have such similar thought patterns. I'm like, I don't want to accidentally watch his new special and get an idea from it and then put it in my stuff because I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Andrew Schultz. I didn't see his new
the
special
infamous.
either.
I've only seen the clips, and the clips are freaking hilarious.
I'm sure it's fucking phenomenal. I don't want to accidentally.
Dang, so I didn't realize. So
you know?
I guess do comics not watch other like comics work because then you run the risk of joke stealing?
I think most people do, and they're okay with it. But I know for me, because there's like a couple things. Even yesterday, I think it was, I posted a tweet about like, what's the girl's name? The basketball player?
Brittany Griner.
Yeah, I was like,
I
thanks.
saw that, yeah.
Thanks to Brittany Griner, we all know the name of one WNBA player. And someone else was, someone somewhere in there was like, oh, Bill Burr. I'm like, motherfucker, did he do a joke similar to that? Because like, I didn't see it, but
Yeah.
it's
Well, you can't avoid that in
Yeah.
social media too.
Yeah.
Or like some no-name comic too could have tweeted that and
Yeah.
gone viral or whatever. Like, oh, Nicole's just stealing it.
yeah, totally.
So-
But similar trains of thoughts happens.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it by accident.
So those like deer blank videos, because obviously it started with the deer fat people. And
That wasn't the first one. That was the fourth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were just
Okay.
talking about that. Yeah.
Was the Dear Fat People the first one that blew up?
Yeah.
No, that was the fourth one that blew up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not-
It's funny.
Not-
Like,
so not even the fourth one you made. It was also the fourth one that blew up.
yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The
'Cause I
first
saw-
one was Instagram.
Okay, because I saw on your YouTube, your most watched video was the deer black people one. That's the one that popped off the most.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was curious though. So obviously, like before you make those videos, you're gonna get hate online and you're gonna get some rebuttal.
Yeah.
Were you kind of like almost in a way banking on that? Like, what was your thought process and like the reason for making those videos?
I wanted to tell the truth about topics that people were too scared to be honest about. And then I'm like, okay, now make it funny. Like,
Right.
yeah, poor Leanne's heard the story over and over, but I literally like made a list of this is what I want to say to the world before I die. If I was going to die in like a week, this is the messages I wanted to leave to people. So it's like, dear this group, dear that group, dear whatever it is. And then just make it funny after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're on The View talking about it and stuff like that, are you just expecting like a back and forth, or like are you kind of just like, I don't know, what's your mindset when like people like The View and people like that reach out to you?
Oh, The View were total assholes. Like
Really?
they're such little bitches, honestly. Like they're bitty little hens that won't even have their own opinions because they're on a network that tells them what to think. And if they deviate from that, they'll lose their jobs. And they know that. So Whoopi Goldberg actually told me like, yo, keep going. Like that was funny shit, whatever, backstage. But then once we got on, she has to say what's on the teleprompter.
Really?
Yeah, it was really like a disheartening experience being on that show because they lied to me to get me on it, said it's about females in comedy, how there's a double standard, and how guys can say the same fat jokes, but if girls do it, then I'm a horrible bitch and I'm a bad person.
And then it's just a complete 180 when you
Yeah,
get on there.
they tried to like just 180 me and whatever. It's like, Whoopi, you used to be funny. Like you used to do stand up and be raunchy and be crazy.
Say
and, like,
Whoopi was crazy.
She was the craziest. I've
Yeah.
been to a Whoopi Goldberg show where at least half the audience got up and walked out because she was like that vulgar.
Damn.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago either. And she was being a dick about it. Not cool.
Because I saw too, like, what's her name? Like Tyra Banks? Is that her name?
She's a person. I don't know.
Or I saw she did a video and she was saying like, kind of like not too happy about that video and stuff that came out. Do you
That's
just
funny.
like, I don't know. I guess it's so interesting to me. Like when you make certain videos like that where you're going to get all this backlash and stuff,
Mhm.
do you watch for how people react and what like celebrities say about it, or do you just kind of ignore that?
I've seen it. Like I'm not really looking for it.
Mhm.
I mostly don't read the comments on stuff. Like if I'm making
Yeah.
those ones, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't even care. I made a post the other day about earphones, like the ones that go in your ears, because I know they're not good for you because radiation. And I don't give a shit what anybody has to say about that. I don't care. I know it's true there. So say whatever you want. Go ahead. Go get brain cancer. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's not true. I hope you don't. But yeah, when it comes to celebrities, I remember Chrissy Teigen was the one. I didn't see Tyra Banks do anything, but I saw
think-
Chrissy Teigen.
I think they were on it together is the one I saw.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her get really mad, but I'm like, well, we all saw what Chrissy Teigen was secretly doing behind the scenes like last year. She like secretly bullies people in their DMs, or she had been doing that.
Oh.
And she was being a dick, but yeah, that one was like kind of like, ouch, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, they're noticing what's going on. So
yeah.
I mean, good PR. All PR is good PR in some type of way, right?
We'll
A little
take
bit.
it.
Yeah.
like, what else can I do?
And it's your craft. Like you're
Yeah.
literally making comedy.
Yeah.
Like they're
Th-
funny.
thanks.
I watched them all, and I'm like, damn, this shit's funny.
Thank
Like,
you.
It is funny.
I feel like we're like, I was on like the first wave of cancel culture. I was surfing that.
Did
shit.
you have a?
that was-
Did you get to trend? Did you get like Nicole
Oh,
Arbour's
so
over
many
party?
times. Oh yeah.
Really?
There's been a bunch of those.
I might clickbait. This is the Nicole Arbour is over party as the title of this.
That's fine. Yeah,
love
do
that.
it. Do
I love
it.
that.
That's cool. And like people try and jump on and they're like, yeah, you're canceled, so I'm gonna cancel you harder. I'm like,
What's
all right.
it like? What's it like on the other side?
Does it actually like affect your personal life?
Yeah, because it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like we had a girl. I don't care. I'll talk about it. Should I talk about it or no?
We can cut it. If you
No,
want.
we won't talk about
No.
that one. Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes people make up lies and use my name just because they know it'll get clicks. So I'll never get used to that because it's just weird. It's like, you're a loser. Like I can't fathom the way that I've been brought up to be that much of a loser to use someone else's name and make up lies about them to get someone to click on my videos because I don't have any talent or skills or anything to offer the world.
Just
you know,
like flat out lies we were told
just-
about you after that.
flat out lies. And it still happens. Like I could leave this interview and be like, oh my gosh, okay, so Danger, he totally like he threw up on the ground and then he was like, hey, do you want to lick it up? And I was like, you're fucking weird, bro. And they just make like a series of videos about Danger being this creepy weird dude.
I was gonna
or-
say if you tell them my name's Danger, they might believe it. So.
Okay, that's true. But like you watch those and you'll see them and they'll get millions of views and you're
Right.
like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
And then I got a reputation that I have to defend, even though it's
Yeah.
not even true.
So it's like, at what point would you defend it or would you just be like, well, what can I do?
I think if it affected my personal life where I'm like losing friends and like can't get a job, I'd be like, all right, like listen the fuck up. That did
Yeah.
not happen. Like she was making that up.
Too late. There's already millions of views on it. They already believe it because people believe everything you say.
And I
True.
guess you just roll the punches. I don't know.
No, you just
That's I don't know.
go to Boise and get on some podcasts. Like, what can I do? Like,
Yeah.
I have awesome friends like Leanne that's just like, fucking weirdos. I'm like, yeah, fucking weirdos. Let's keep going.
To play like kind of I guess devil's advocate, is there like, cause you said The View, like they all were told how to think in a way.
Yeah.
Was there like, so you're saying there was never someone who actually just maybe disagreed with what you said or disagreed with the way you said it and you had like a real genuine conversation about it,
On The View,
or just in general?
someone who disagreed with what I said, like in any videos type of thing.
Yeah, so I mean, like, because I know, like, when Bill Maher did something similar, James Corden did a whole segment about it and was,
Yeah.
like, kind of shit on Bill Maher for what he said. And Bill Maher's,
Because
like, a lot
he's
of jokes
chubby.
are in it. Yeah, I mean, there's,
Yeah.
like, there's jokes in it, but there's, like, truth to it. And people, like, kind of, I think at times will cover, like, say the truth. It's just hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think a lot is intent, too. Like, especially when it comes to, like the fat and the overweight stuff.
Yeah.
I think, like, I know with Bill Maher, and I'm sure, like, you know, your videos are saying it's like it's more of a health issue. It's not like we're just saying you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's a health issue.
Yeah, and it's a decision. Anybody can be unfat. It's not like you were born like that and I'm making fun of a disability and you lost an arm in the war and I'm making fun of you in a mean way.
Yeah.
It's like you have done things in your life that has led you, most people, to being like this, and you can reverse it anytime.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, yeah, I was gonna say not everybody. It's just like I feel like for some people they can't control. Like some people are just born kind of bigger. I know in your video you said
Yeah,
big
yeah.
bone isn't a thing.
That's
But I think, you know, there are some people, like, even if they were super in shape and stuff, they're not going to be super skinny.
yeah.
And I think those people, like, not have a right to be offended, but have a right to maybe, like, rebut it. But then the kind of people
But like rebutting comedy, that's kind of
that's
weird.
the thing. That's
Yeah.
what's weird about it too. Is that it's comedy. It's like a lot of it are jokes. Like you can't really rebut a joke because you can just. I know it's a fucking joke,
What
right?
Schultz said, I was watching his podcast, and it's like he tells people before the show, like, if you get offended, just don't show up. Just don't come. Don't
Yeah.
watch it. If you're going to
Yeah.
get offended, don't click on it.
Why are you here?
Straight up.
I've thought about that so many times. I'm like, so I've made this little clubhouse, and these are my people, and this is what we laugh at, and welcome to my club if you want to come play. If you don't want to be here, why are you walking into my clubhouse? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
don't come.
Like, you don't go to a restaurant you don't like because you don't like the food. Like, you don't just go there to unplease yourself, right?
Yeah, I hate
why-
this
like,
place so much. I'm going
going to
back
eat there.
tomorrow.
Yeah, no. it's just-
So I can be mad at it. That's like a lot of TikTokers. They're like, I'm gonna do things that piss me off so I can make a TikTok.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just like clickbait, like trying to go viral. That's playing hard though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think too with a comedian though, like you kind of know what you sign up for. Like no matter, it can be the most lighthearted joke that doesn't offend anybody or any like demographic in particular, but people are still gonna find a way to be like, you're a piece of shit for that joke, you know?
Yeah, but okay, bye. Like,
Right.
all right, later. Yeah.
Did that take a while for you to kind of get that mindset? Like at first when you would get hate or backlash, did it affect you at all?
When I first started getting like backlash, it was only weird when people took it so seriously. Like when people tried to bring the jokes into like real life. I'm like, yo, it's a video on YouTube. What are you doing? Like I had a weird Instagram model like scream at me in public one time and like try and set me up for a video and so that she could go viral and like try and start a fight with me on the street. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, you're disgusting. How dare you? I'm like, how dare I what? Like, I don't know you. Like, who are you? What are you doing? Like that weird part of like low level influencers or comics who are just douchebags, whatever, trying to set me up to look bad. That I just won't get used to that.
It's like a low blow.
Yeah, it's just loser behavior.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I just won't ever get used to that because I wasn't bred like that. Yeah, but the comments, I don't care. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, there's some comedians that I don't find funny, but who cares if I don't find them funny? Other people do. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not gonna watch them.
Yeah,
Big
it's
deal.
a different restaurant. Good for them. I hope they win. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long were you doing like stand up and like venues and stuff before you switched over to YouTube, or did YouTube come first or?
Oh, no. So I did stand up for like,
How old were you when you started stand up? Obviously college, so
I think I can't remember if my first stage was like 18 or 19
Damn.
doing stand up. It was like right on that cusp because it was right going to college. And in Ontario, we did like a grade 13 thing. But it was like right then until I was about 26, I think it was. So it was like 7-8 years, like straight, multiple times a week, every stupid little hole in the wall room. And then
that's kind of
the
have to
tours
grind
and-
that though. Is like the whole every night, like just
Yeah, and it's
Do
funny
it.
because like people will think, oh yeah, she's some chick being funny on YouTube, but the Canadian comics who know me and like actually were on that grind with me, they're killing it now. Oh my gosh, you guys know Ryan Long? You gotta watch his podcast. I think it's called the Boys Podcast or Boys Cast. Funny
Boys Cast like that.
as fuck. You're gonna love it.
Okay.
Yeah, him and like there's Trix, another stand-up comic who's just. He's so Toronto. He's so killing it. Yeah, she's like, she knows. It's so good. Yeah, like it's funny because they know me as that. And then they're like, oh, she started making videos too. Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had Gastor Monty on a couple months ago. He's
Ooh.
a comedian from Brooklyn. And he was saying, like, you were talking about, like, all the jokes and stuff you were saying on stage and stuff. He said when, for the most part, he kind of has, like, a shtick he'll stick with or a routine for a few months, and he's always thinking of new stuff. And, he kind of, like, goes in waves of when he starts new material. Was that kind of your process, too? Because he would say, like, I would kind of stick with some stuff, but then, like, certain cities, I knew this wouldn't be funny, or I found out the hard way it wasn't funny. So when you go back to that city, you have to change up from, what you're doing everywhere else.
Like there's little bits of that. Like when I was building a set, because I would travel with that specific set, I would, try out bits and build the bits and whatever. But my favorite thing has always been like just riffing on shit. Or I'll sit at the back of the room, watch all the other comics go up, and I'm gonna riff on the jokes that they just told. So I'm already starting with callbacks. Like it's so fun.
Are you a
for
crowd
me.
worker at all?
I do. I really
love
like crowd work.
It's so fun to watch.
That's why I like. People always be like, oh, hosting, I don't want to host. I'm like, I love hosting.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather host than headline sometimes. People are
you'd
like,
be
are you
such a
nuts?
good host for like a big, like crazy event. Because you would just
Yeah.
go like bananas and it'd go nuts. That'd be so funny.
It's so fun. Thanks.
that'd be great.
It's so fun. I did that for years touring with bands. So I'd be the only comic on the road. There'd be like 3-4 rock bands. And we had big ass venues. And then I would go up at the beginning, open up the show, do stand up off the top, and then between each set change, I would go back out and do more crowd work and whatever. And those crowds are drunk and they're rowdy, and I loved it.
Does any of your material come from like looking at the room? Like I always see like TikToks of comedians and they're like, someone will like heckle them and like, oh, what's your name? And then they'll like roast their shirt or where they're from or
That's crowd work.
okay.
Yeah. That's just like whatever,
Yeah.
Just using the crowd to play on.
talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Do you have any stories that stand out? Like any like really good crowd work? You're like, damn, that was a good one.
My favorite one, I won't beat it ever. It was one of the first times I was hosting one of those huge outdoor music festivals, and every time I went up, this guy was like, you're hot, blah, 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 and he's yelling stuff. And I get up there with the biggest crowd of the night because it's right before the headliner. And he's like, take off your shirt. And the whole crowd heard it because he was so loud. I'm like, why? Your tits are bigger than mine, buddy. And everybody turned and they put the camera on him and they put him on the screen. And his tits were bigger than mine. So it was just a great moment. It was a lot of fun.
Would you say that's probably like your craziest moment on stage?
I've had a lot of crazy moments on stage, but that was my favorite, like, big crowd moment.
You fired right back. And
yeah. Fuck yourself.
Yeah.
This was my stage, sir. Stop it.
Yeah. I saw too. So, you did a little bit of acting as well.
Yeah.
Was that like while you're doing stand up? I saw you were in the Rocker with like Rainn Wilson, Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Like how did that all come to be, and how was it working with big names like that?
It's so funny because there's like this. It was awesome. They're awesome. Everybody was awesome. Rainn Wilson gave me some awesome. Gave me some great comedy tips on there too, and I was learning from everybody on set. And I actually did a series with Howard. No, not Howard. It was called How We Do It. Why can't I think of his name?
Howie Mandel.
Thank you.
Oh,
You're
you went on
the other half
you
of my
did
brain.
a tour with Mandel?
I did a whole TV show with him.
No
it was
way.
on
Wow.
NBC, and it was called How We Do It.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
Deal
Deal or
or
No
No
Deal. You were
No,
one of the
that'd be
girls?
awesome. That would be. I was
That's another
so jealous I
checklist.
couldn't. I was disabled during that time because I'd been in a car accident.
That's why they put Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
You could have been front row in the
Fine.
wheelchair.
Yeah, true. Oh my gosh, that would have been awesome.
That would have been funny.
I wish. I always wanted to.
They're
be one of those
discriminating
girls.
because it was everyone could stand.
Yeah.
Deal or No Deal.
How rude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been funny.
We should like be mad. No, I'm just kidding.
Cancel.
But on like the Rocker, like the only reason I stopped doing those, I was booked for like a bunch of other films and other cool things. But then I was in this car accident, so I had to stop everything. It was a great freaking time. And there's this like story of the curse of the Rocker. Because at the time, all these people really weren't well known. People kind of knew Rainn Wilson because The Office was starting to pop off. And people kind of knew Teddy Geiger because he was doing music. But nobody else was really big.
Not even Emma
yet.
Stone at that time?
No, she had done like one thing maybe that people kind of knew her for. And everybody in order of the cast list on IMDb has fucking popped off. And I got a call, I think it was like last year, people were like, hey, you're the next one. You're the next person on the list, on the cast list. And I'm
way.
like, oh shit, it's my turn. But like everybody in a row, like that movie had Bradley Cooper in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you like look at the actual cast list of that, it's bananas.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it bad I haven't seen the movie?
No, it's okay. It's like a really campy, like funny one. Oh yeah, and then half of them ended up on SNL and like.
Have you done SNL?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
That'd be
I would
cool.
love to host it. I've always said that.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I heard it's a lot of freaking work. Like it's like literally like sleepless days, sleepless nights for like literally a week straight. Then you get 5 hours of sleep the night before, and then it's showtime.
I'm in.
That'd be so fun.
That'd be awesome. People have always been like, don't you want to be on SNL? And I'm like, not trying to be a dick, but I don't. I don't want to be a cast member on SNL. My goal my whole life has been to host on it. So
That'd be cool.
That's what I'll do one day.
Yeah. So what was your role in the Rocker?
I was a trashy groupie. I was
Okay.
the trashy groupie that was like the high pitched, like, hey, do you want to like come with us? And you know, I was all over Rainn Wilson. It was a lot of fun. And they were gonna give me an actual name. I'm like, please leave it at trashy groupie.
That's like
I don't need a name.
So that's
Yeah.
what it is in the credits?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
That's funny.
I just wanted to watch the film at the premiere and be like, haha, I'm trashy groupie.
Yeah. What got you into acting though from comedy?
Comedic acting, like
Oh,
the
really?
movies I've
They
grown up
reached out to
watching.
you about it?
Yeah, I had an agent from doing stand up and all that kind of stuff. And then they were just like, hey, they want you to come in for this. I'm like, okay. And they just were like, hey, you're in. I don't think I even auditioned. They was like,
Oh, really?
wow.
yeah, they're like, you're a trashy hoe. I'm like, thanks, guys. Yeah. And then I got it. Actually, more insulting than that was a film called You Might As Well Live that I was in. And Michael Madsen played my dad, and I played a catatonic invalid. I was handicapped in that movie, and it was right before I actually became handicapped.
I was gonna say, was this like, did they use your car crash or no?
No, like,
They're like, you're perfect for this role.
yeah, you know what? We want you to be that. And I auditioned for like the hot girl main role, and they were like, listen, you're in the top 2 for that role, but we want to, not to insult you, we want to offer you this one too if you want to do it. One has like way more comedic chops to it, because be funny without
Yeah.
doing anything. And I like was like a dead body that they had to like cart me around and stuff. Well, I was a frozen body, and I decided I don't blink, so I didn't blink once in the movie and
How do you do that?
focus.
That's.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
It's like I when you watch movies too, and like you try to look. I try to see if people are breathing. You know, like when
Yeah.
they're laying there, it's like, oh, that person's. Of course they're breathing. It's like some people do really good at that.
Yeah,
That'd be a hard
I
skill to
I
have.
ninja'd. I trained myself, and I was like, "How am I going to make this as
You're
ridiculous
just
as
staring
possible?"
in the mirror, just just hardcore focusing on your own eyes?
I just like dream in my head about something else, and that's how I do it.
That's
but we
cool.
duct taped me to a swing as well, because there's like a love. I'm like the love interest of the main guy,
Okay.
and I'm in a swing, and I'm like, duct tape me to it. This doesn't make sense. How could she stay on a swing? So there's a scene where like I am fully duct taped to this swing, and I'm just like this lifeless thing, and they're swinging me. It's so funny.
That is pretty funny.
It is. Like when I think of it now, I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous, and I loved it. And people thought I was actually like that. So when I went to the premiere, it was at Sundance, I believe. Sundance or Slam Dance, I don't remember. And when I was at the premiere and I go up at the end with all the actors, nobody knew who I was. They're like, you were in this? I'm like, I'm that one.
I'm in the swing.
Yeah. They thought that girl was actually like that. And then I was. Weird.
So is that car crash is that what got you like out of acting? Like, did you just kind of stop after that?
It got me out of life. I was fully disabled for years.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's like around like 7 to 8 years.
Oh, dang.
Totally out of everything. And I make this horrible joke over and over that I couldn't do stand-up because I couldn't stand up. But really, it was just like really bad chronic pain and
Yeah.
fully disabled.
So what's your mindset then when you're like, in a way like on top of the world, you're in these movies, you're touring, doing, performing at venues, and then this happens.
It was the worst ever. It was the worst. And actually, it wasn't the worst ever. There's been worse things since getting a following and stuff because people get weird. But it freaking sucked. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I hated it. A lot of physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain. And then the comeback story is fucking awesome, though. Like, to me. And the coolest chapter is about to happen because I'm actually in Boise working with Russell Brunson and the team at ClickFunnels. We made a course called Pain Free by 23. I created the course. They're helping me push it out. And I teach everybody what I learned in like those 7 years of all these crazy medical treatments, and I condense it to 7 weeks. And I'm going to get so many people better. It's going to be crazy.
So
doctors are going to hate me. They are, and I don't care.
Did you just recently recover then from that?
Like 2014-ish, I started getting back to life. Yeah, but I still had some residual pain and stuff.
Right.
But now I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I not teaching this to everybody? I know how to get people better, so that's what we're going to do.
Is that when you started YouTube then? When you kind of started to be able to be on your feet again? And
No, I started recording those when I couldn't get out of bed still. I was like, I could still do this. So I'll just turn my camera like that, like my phone.
Yeah.
I recorded like a billion views were on my cell phone. And
That's crazy.
Yeah.
that's it.
So like you started YouTube then when like YouTube was like in its like starting prime. It was like kind of that first wave.
I was second wave YouTube is what I've been told.
So is that like Logan Paul cancel wave?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
I was like right before that wave. Yeah,
Okay.
right before that
Okay.
one. I mean, he's killing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. I love
he
it
made
so
such
much.
a rebound. He's
Yeah.
an awesome guy. His whole
I think
team
so, too.
with Mike, how he was like the ex crack addict, and I like how they're kind of collabing with Jeff Wittick too.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Because Jeff Wittick totally moved away from Dobrik because Dobrik did that thing with I don't know if you saw, because David Dobrik got canceled.
I saw
and,
that. Why? I don't know why.
They were filming a David Dobrik comeback video because of
Okay.
COVID. He stopped making videos. Jeff Wittick, they went out to this pond. They had a excavator with a swing. Jeff Wittick trusted Dobrik in the excavator to swing him. Well, he stopped. Jeff Wittick went up, smacked his head into the dozer or the excavator, and it cracked. If he was like an inch from dying and going blind, and then like David Dobrik didn't pay for any of his surgeries, didn't help him out, kind of just said, see ya, and
I don't like that.
yeah. So Jeff kind of split off from their group, and he's total F David Dobrik now.
is that confirmed, or is that just kind of Jeff's side of the story?
It's Jeff's. I mean, David won't talk about it. He refuses to talk about it because I think he knows Jeff's probably right. But I mean, Jeff was messed up, in the head. His eye. He always wears sunglasses now because he has a big old scar right here. But
Aw.
but Jeff and Mike collab, and then Mike's with Logan, and that whole squad is so cool, and I follow them a lot because
They seem cool. I had so many people be like, Nicole, why do you follow Logan Paul? What are you doing? They're losers. Get away from them. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I think he's cool. I think his bro. You can't look at people like them who are now professional level boxers and kicking ass at all these different things. Every time people say they can't do something, they go do it. And I'm like, hey, that's the same as me. Hey, this actually happened. It was hey, you can't just stand up, you're a girl. And I'm like, fuck off. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you can't do this. Hey, you can't get better. Hey, you can't whatever. I'm like, well, I'm going to do it twice in front of you.
Yeah.
So I just love people that just keep going. It's so cool.
But I mean, even Logan Paul's admitted, like, when he was back in prime YouTube, he's like, dude, I was a total, like,
douche.
weirdo. Yeah, douche.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
he's
weirdo.
a young kid who's famous. You know, that's
Yeah.
gonna.
Taken from Ohio, like, a town of nowhere.
Yeah.
So,
Well, most YouTubers who don't have an inherent talent, like for what they're doing, like if you're not teaching me about your cake decorating, or you're not a comedian, or you're not a dancer, you're a fucking weirdo and you're desperate for views and you're going to be using and abusing other people to get them. Like that's
Yeah.
what happens.
and he was definitely in that stage for sure. But now he's
He's
killing
awesome.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's totally grown up. He's like a full businessman now.
Yeah. Do you guys like Mr. Beast?
Yes.
I love Mr. Beast. Oh my gosh, I watch his videos when I'm at the gym. It makes me so happy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, it gets me through my whole workout.
You're like,
Yeah.
I want to win this.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, the one when they did the game show.
Like the
Squid
Squid
Games?
Games.
Thank
yeah.
you. I was
Yeah.
like, I want to play. What if they would have said to me like left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left? I would have been like, okay, got it, and like done the thing.
Yeah.
Why didn't they listen?
Yeah.
And he's got the whole YouTube algorithm and
Oh, he
stuff
has it on
so
lock.
down. He was saying on, I think it was like Joe Rogan, he goes, so with the information you have now, let's say you start from scratch, you're a nobody again,
Yeah.
0 subscribers on YouTube, but you still have all your knowledge. How long do you think it would take for you to like
Get someone to 1 million followers. Or 1 million subscribers
Yeah.
is what it was.
What do you say?
3 months?
Yeah.
Cool.
He's
And
like,
he did it with Eric. I don't know if you know who that is.
Mm.
He's
Oh,
like
his assistant dude.
kind of. So Eric is the guy who bought Logan Paul's. Remember when Logan Paul sold his couches, his Mercedes couches over?
I didn't see that. That sounds fun.
But this guy, like, he was like hungry for views, and just grinding. And so he collabed with Logan, and then that led him to Mr. Beast. And then Mr. Beast like, I'm gonna take you, because he wanted 1 million subscribers in a year. Mr. Beast like, I'll give you them in 6 months.
Dang.
And so
let's
he's
go.
like a science experiment, and he had 1 million. He hit 1 million views December 31st last year. This year his goal is to get to 10 million. And he's already at 8.
nice.
I'm like, Mr. Beast literally and if you look at Mr. Beast videos like down the channel and Eric's, thumbnails are almost identical. The
Yeah.
number, it's down to like how many, like 100,000 works. Like there's a whole science to it.
yeah.
There is, and I just don't care anymore. Like
Yeah.
for them, I think it's freaking awesome. But for me, there was certain numbers I wanted to hit and certain things I wanted to achieve. And once I hit them, I'm like, okay, the game's over. I don't care anymore. So let's go on to the next game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've never been like, I want this many subscribers or I want this. I celebrated certain milestones, but
Like 1 million on Instagram. That's huge.
Yeah.
I guess so.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, that's
That's a
huge.
lot of people.
It's a lot of people. I forget sometimes.
And you're almost at 2 million.
I'm almost at 2 million. That's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
guess I should push that. Okay,
Yeah.
we can make that a goal.
Okay.
When I hit like 1.5 billion views, I was like, it seems silly to keep counting.
Yeah. What does that number
know?
look like? Is like, does it even fit on your phone screen when you look at your YouTube? I've always wondered
I
what the
don't know.
back end of a YouTube channel looks like with like more than 100 subscribers is like my most.
See, because it was a mix of YouTube and Facebook, like Facebook
Oh.
video views too, which was
Okay.
crazy because they're organic and like there wasn't hacks the same way they were for YouTube.
Yeah.
But I came over as one of the first Facebook creators, like they're influencers, and there were so many people watching over there. There still is.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
Really?
People will be like, oh, your video is going viral in this country. I'm like, what? Like there's like 1 million something people watching me at any given time on Facebook.
That's crazy.
It is. It's
We
crazy.
We obviously don't have those numbers, but
Yeah.
our first couple episodes, we were looking at our analytics and stuff, and we could see people were watching it in Europe and Asia and Africa.
Well, there's
We're
one view, but it's
Yeah,
still the
we're
fact
like,
that it's reaching there.
How the fuck did you from South Africa come across our YouTube channel? And
In Boise, Idaho.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
it's crazy. So once you kind of hit all those milestones in terms of numbers and data, 1 billion views and all that, is that kind of when you turned to music, and that was kind of the next thing you were working for?
That was just always, I want to do this, I'm going to do this. And I
Okay.
started doing it years ago, and I just didn't release any of it because there was other projects and other things going down and stuff. But now it's music is a fun thing, and I'm going to keep doing it because it's fun for me.
Do you independently release, or are you on a
Yeah.
label?
Labels have approached me, and I'm like,
Okay.
hey, wait.
For singles?
No, for a full deal.
Okay.
And I was like, hold please, because it doesn't make sense to me. I haven't released my best music yet on purpose.
Okay.
I was like, I'm just going to give out little samples first.
Some
Sure.
teasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say it's non-binary beats. I'm like, I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna put a pop track, and then I'm gonna do a hip hop track,
Country
and then I'm
track.
gonna do
Gotta do a country track.
Why
right?
not, right?
Yeah.
Country trap track, yeah.
Yeah, country trap.
And that's just a game for me because I like directing. So that's an exercise in directing for me to direct the music videos.
Oh, so you're kind of in charge of everything.
Every
related to
single
your
thing that
music?
happens, it's myself and my awesome silly squad, including Leanne. Like, we just get her done. The choreography, everything you see, we just do it ourselves.
So did you kind of have to like research on your own how to like make a music video and like all the fine details and that?
No, I've been on sets like that. Like the cheerleader thing, that was stage like 45 in my dance career. And then I went on to choreograph award shows, and actually Leanne was in one of them. Like, I've choreographed a bunch of different award shows. I've choreographed videos. I've done lots of things for other people.
Okay.
So I'm like,
so
I'll
you already
do it
kind
for
of
me.
had the knowledge, and you're like, I'm going to do it my fucking self.
Yeah, my turn.
Nice.
Yeah, and like, it's cool because the reception has been banana. Last week, I don't know if you guys saw this post. I was laughing, crying because my new single, Hands Up, charted against all the biggest rappers on Instagram's new releases.
Really?
And it was like Chris Brown and Sean Kingston, Mozzie, and all these people, and Nicole Arbour, Hands Up. I'm like, that's fucking funny. That's just funny.
That's sick.
Yeah. I laughed. I'm like, that's really silly. Let's do it again. Yeah.
What's your favorite type of music to make?
Rap.
Rap.
Yeah. I don't care what we put underneath it. If it goes like a hip hop beat, a trap beat, or whatever, it's like, I like rapping. And I like the messages you
Do you
can put in it.
freestyle or do you write stuff down?
I like to write.
Okay.
I don't like freestyling because
Do
I
you
like
believe the
being
rappers
witty.
that are like, I freestyle everything?
No.
Like, there's no way, right?
Some of them I've seen, and they're like lethal. Actually, the guy who I believe he produced and worked on Drake, I think he was the producer on Drake's new album. His name's Nevermind. I've seen him in the studio, and he's more of like a songwriter, and he does R&B, and he has an amazing voice. But I've seen him freestyle stuff, and like the stuff that comes out of his head, I'm like, what?
Where do you even get this?
Or like
Yeah.
Juice WRLD, his stuff was
Juice
crazy.
WRLD was crazy.
Yeah, like
freestyling.
some of these people. But that's not my strength, so I don't
Yeah,
see why I
sure.
would keep doing it to try and impress someone that I can do it. That
Right.
seems silly.
So the music it's more just a passion project. Like you don't care how it's like perceived or how much it's liked. It's just kind of you doing your thing.
The second it's out, I already won.
Yeah.
Like, that's the game, and
It's
the
huge.
stuff that's coming out is even cooler and bigger, and
So how much
Yeah.
do you have in
It's
like the
fun.
vault? What's your vault look like?
probably like 15 to 20.
So like an album?
Yeah.
Are you gonna put?
15
Are
to
you gonna
20.
keep just doing singles, or are you gonna album it?
I don't know yet.
Bundle it.
Like the next few, there's gonna be single. Every
Okay.
time I see like my best guy friend, I play him another one in the car. He's like, "Why isn't this out?" He's like,
Okay.
"What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Just sitting on it.
Yeah, just sitting.
Do
I
you have
don't
a
know.
timeline for when you want to release those?
I have another one coming out in September for sure, and I'll probably do like September, October, November, maybe like once a month. I
Something.
haven't decided because the biggest projects for me right now are the course and then my podcast that's launching.
Ooh.
And
Oh, so you haven't launched it yet?
no, it's like any day now,
Okay.
basically.
So
Yeah.
are you have episodes banked then? Like,
No, not yet.
so you're recording from scratch. Like,
Yeah.
do you have the first episode recorded?
I have the monologues written because I'm
Okay.
like, I do off the top things first. And I
Okay.
have those written and ready to record. And I'm probably doing those next week.
What kind of podcast will it
But
be?
Libsyn's
like,
down right now, so we can't release it.
Will it be like a traveling one? Like, you know how like, you know, everyone's like kind of into the traveling podcast, or like, will you just be at one location?
I'd prefer to be in a studio, but I travel so much, it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
Sure.
So as long as we can kind of keep the monologues, like the flow of it the same, it starts like
Are you
this.
doing one here at SB
Goes
Studios?
like this.
Maybe.
Probably.
Okay.
Like right after this, I think we're
Yeah,
we're doing something.
And you
Yeah.
did something here yesterday too. So
We did. That was just little clippies.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a pretty wild story coming in.
Yeah. That story. Is that what you're gonna?
Oh yeah, we're gonna go into
Oh.
that story now.
Dan, you might want to stay for this one. This one's crazy. I was telling him a
Might
little
have
bit
to.
before.
It's pretty crazy. So I do comedy, I do all these other things, but like I just love learning. I'm a dork like that. Like whatever I'm gonna learn, I just want to learn. And I've looked into the police system is one thing, but the prison system, especially in America, is
Right.
a fucking bananas business. And it's sad and it's corrupt and it's not cool and it costs taxpayers so much money and it's absolutely decimated the black community over the years, arresting people for stupid things like weed. And I wanted to do an episode on that. And then I met someone, a woman I'm working with already actually, who randomly was like, "Oh, I used to be in prison." I'm like, "What? For what?"
The nicest lady too.
The nicest,
nicest lady.
sweetest lady. She went to prison and for the most ridiculous shit. So we're doing an episode on it.
Yeah, I used to work with somebody. She was like older. I worked at Fancy Freeze. It's that fast food restaurant off State Street.
Fun.
And you know, this girl worked there, and she was in prison or jail for a year because she was with her husband who had like a pound of weed on him because she was in the car. You know, she took some of the fall too, so she was in jail for a year because of that.
So effed up.
That's
Yeah.
stupid. That is just
It's
stupid.
crazy. I don't remember all the details. Like I could be getting that a little wrong, but I think that's kind of the
Hey, how dare you guys giggle a little bit and eat Doritos? You know, like
Weed is the
weed
dumbest thing to be in jail for.
ever.
In 2022,
yeah.
it's the dumbest thing to be in jail
In
for.
any state.
in
Regardless
any
of-
country.
Any
Yeah.
country. Grow
like
up.
in Canada, it's great. It's legal across the country. America weirds me out. I'm like, okay, I'm in this state. Is it legal? I don't know. Am I gonna get
I
arrested?
feel like weed is more
What's gonna
popular than
happen?
cigarettes now.
Yes.
Like it
it's
has to be,
like-
right? It has to be close, at least.
Is it
That one-
legal here? I don't even know.
Not in
Oh,
Idaho.
hell
Oh,
no.
okay.
But you go next door to Colorado.
Yeah.
Or Oregon.
Different story.
Oregon's
Yeah.
45
A lot of
minutes
people
away.
drive 90 minutes or 45 minutes to Oregon.
I was in a.
Huh.
Crazy to me to think
Yeah.
that. Like,
But it's
there-
a plant.
There is some
Literally.
weird,
Natural.
messed up people that are out there doing some crazy things, kidnapping kids, doing some weird stuff. Put them
Hey,
in jail.
Make,
Yeah.
make taxes on the weed, not the jail.
Oh,
Because like,
that's a
there's a lot of tax money in marijuana,
yeah.
especially in sales and stuff.
We sure do that in Canada. That's why
California,
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it makes me mad. It's just stupid. This is a stupid law by stupid people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy too because even like in states where it is legal, it's still federally illegal. So like, I remember in high school watching like a video of this guy had his own shop in California, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm like terrified every day because even though it's legal in the state, the feds could show up and like arrest me, and like I get like life in prison for this, even though it's legal in my state. But if the
no sense.
yeah,
That
it's so weird.
makes no sense.
Guess
crazy.
what? The feds need the weed.
Literally.
I
They need
agree.
to chill out. Yeah,
Hashtag
once you
get
try
them high.
it, yeah. Once you try it, I think you'll be a little more chill about it.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys, China's literally staging a 20, 30-year long invasion. They're getting closer to the end of that. Maybe let's
Yeah.
focus on that shit. Because this empire ain't gonna strike back when we're all in jail.
Right.
Like, wow. I just think it's really stupid.
Yeah. But speaking of your podcast,
I thought you were gonna say, speaking of China. Oh my God,
Yeah.
well, here we go.
Do you have any like guest like hosts or anybody like lined up? Like I'm sure like Bill Maher or Joe Rogan. If you talk about like weed and prison reform, I'm sure people like that would absolutely love to go on there and talk about that.
That's pretty fun. I haven't like lined up those kinds of people yet. So for me, I want to talk to someone who's been in prison on that topic.
Gotcha.
I'm like, you've been in it, let's do it. Same across the board. I was just saying that like my favorite idea for a guest, my number one guest I want to get's the Pope. I want the Pope on my
That'd be
podcast.
sick.
Seriously.
It's just so like out of like pocket. Like who has the Pope on a
Uh,
podcast?
me,
Exactly,
hopefully.
yeah.
I want the Pope. And I want like my list of dream guests when I was talking with my network Believe, they're like, oh, who do you want? And like they thought I'd say like all these awesome friends that I have who are killing it in business and entertainment. And I was like, yeah, those ones are easy and fun. Here's who I actually want. And it was all like weird,
Yeah,
off the beaten path kind of people.
love it.
I have things to ask the Pope. I
Yeah.
have questions and I want the answers. Yeah,
How realistic do you think that is?
very. Everything I've ever put my mind to, I achieved.
So what's the one?
So
question?
why would I stop now?
What's the first question you'd ask the Pope?
Where'd you get your hat?
I-
Yeah. Is your hat's a little bit bigger than a yarmulke? Did yours just not quit? Or do you think that yours is superior to a yarmulke? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's probably the first question.
I like
Listen, we
it.
can get on a Zoom call. We'll get them in here. It's fine.
I think it's pretty likely to happen because they need to reach the younger generations. They're losing people in the church. And I grew up in the church. I went to private Catholic schools my whole life. And there's just questions that so much of America and Canada and people are fighting about. And he could just give us the answers. So why not?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to ask you directly. What do you think about this? What should people be focusing on?
Canceled,
Yeah.
probably.
Well,
Just
what, is going to
for
cancel
nothing.
me?
Yeah, for nothing. Just because that's what they do now, right?
Oh, it doesn't work, though. You can't actually cancel people.
Yeah.
You can't. Like,
But someone will try to. Probably.
oh no.
Because she talked to the Pope. You can't do
Oh,
that.
okay.
Who knows?
Is
Sure.
that going to be a big talking point in your podcast, cancel culture?
It seems like it's like getting beaten. You know what I mean? It's like beating a dead horse
I
now.
feel like cancel
Yeah.
culture is dead.
Well,
Yeah.
people keep trying, but like I always make the joke like I've been canceled 12 times. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm canceled. Okay, well, see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. I saw the
Almost
most.
two
Yeah.
cats.
I saw.
What'd you
the mo-
say?
I said, you're almost 2 cats now.
Ooh, I'm almost 2 full cats of being canceled.
Yeah, I saw like Logan Paul. People tried to cancel him like a month or so ago, and I just looked on his Twitter to see if he said anything, and he's like just said like ha ha, and then did the hashtag Logan Paul it's over party, and it's like
That's
I think
funny.
like
You
if
gotta
you
play
don't,
into it.
yeah, I was gonna say like I mean unless you did something really fucked up or you should be canceled,
Yeah.
I think like you only get canceled if you let yourself get canceled.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
Totally.
So
It's like, oh no,
like-
someone said they don't like me.
because
Oh,
Bill
well.
Maher, like if he that affected him, he would have been off the air, years ago.
Yeah.
So
Listen, Dave Chappelle would have been gone
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100 years ago before he even started if we
Yeah.
actually let that happen.
Like pre-birth.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Before
would
his
have
career
aborted
even
himself.
starts, yes.
Yeah.
He
Totally.
does not care. And he comes back swinging harder every time.
Or his security does on stage.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever had something thrown on you? Thrown at you? Thrown on you?
Well, that sounds rude. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's happened. Like a really weird one was just that Instagram model that was so strange. And then the really other strange ones are like stalker type
Stalkers,
dudes and
yeah.
like dudes who make up stories about they dated me and stuff. I'm like, did you? I wasn't there.
Yeah, you said yesterday in the recording we did that there's people that make TikToks just pretending to be your friend.
Yeah, there's people who make TikToks pretending that they know me, pretending that they found my sunglasses, pretending that like, oh, Nicole did this or this. And I'm like, bro, I don't know you. Like,
Just trying to reach out to you? Like,
no, they're like trying to get clicks.
And
They're,
it's like-
they're just making clickbait using my name.
And it's like not even worth like giving them the satisfaction, right? Of like,
That's what
So,
she says.
you know,
She's like,
like-
don't you dare say their name.
Right,
I'm like,
yeah.
all
That's
right.
all they want.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all people
Yeah.
want.
They're just like scratching. They're like, give
because
me attention.
I've seen like on Twitter, like somebody says some like out of pocket shit to a celebrity, and then the celebrity blocks them, and then they screenshot it and post it,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh look, yeah, like I'm.
they got it.
Yeah,
they
he's like,
what
I got
they're
my,
looking for.
15 seconds of fame. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
people want.
you really just like shit on this celebrity and then, use it for clout. Like it's so weird.
I don't think anybody cool would think they're smart or awesome, so it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
just like you suck and you just proved it. So anybody who follows you probably sucks too. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I don't follow like the drama. I don't even like
Yeah.
watch reality shows that are just shitting on people. I'm like, why? For what?
Do you
Oh.
get noticed a lot though in public?
Depends on the state or city or whatever it is. There's
about-
some places it's
How about here?
a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's usually like a no, like, why would you be in Boise?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's a pretty why would you?
Yeah.
Why
that's-
would you be?
it's a
in
fair
Boise?
question.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So,
And then I explain
Maybe
it.
she's homeless now.
Yeah.
No?
I
She's
live.
just joining the community.
There you go.
Do you get noticed more in Canada or the U.S.?
Canada's different. If I'm in LA, it's a lot. LA or like New York. LA, New York, and Texas are like bigger ones for me. And then in the UK, like in London, it would be a lot.
Really?
But it's different kinds of people that come up in each place. But in Toronto, it's like someone will yell from a car, but it'll be like, "Yo, go team!" I'm like, "Yeah, all right, what's up?" Like, it's totally different.
What's
The
your
guy we saw
demographic?
rapping.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there was like a rapper on the street. We were coming out of a club the other night in Toronto, and that was like weeks ago.
He was
My bad.
fully freestyling, yeah.
Yeah, fully freestyling on the street, and then he just was like, and then Nicole Arbour, blah 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 blah. I watched
he
her
name
views,
dropped you.
and I was like, "Yo, what's up?"
Crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
we walked
cool.
by and we kind of had to turn and we were like, oh, hey.
King Street. yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Wow.
What's your demographic look like? know?
18 to 34-year-olds, 56% female.
Oh, so you like know exact numbers?
That's why I
like-
just said
Yeah,
it.
yeah. 18 to 34. That's like pretty, that's like half the population. I feel like.
Like, I guess in terms of demos, like that's a specific demo.
Okay, and
Yeah.
more female then.
56%
I think
females.
it's pretty split.
That's what the number says. Yeah.
yeah.
Which is funny because people used to be like, "Oh yeah, you just have viewers because you're hot and blah, blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, but most of them are chicks, so
Yeah.
I don't think they're all lesbians." I could be wrong, but I make a lot of jokes, so I don't know.
Yeah. So I think we should bring in the card game segment now.
Yes, I'm
Should
excited.
Be exciting. So we'll each do one from each deck. So I'll grab one, ask you the question, you
'Kay.
answer it. Then you grab one, ask me the question.
Okay, you go.
Pretty straightforward.
Ask and answer. Copy that.
Do you have an area of your life that you are never satisfied with?
Health. Yeah. Like all the time. I'm like, oh, I could be in better shape. I can eat healthier. I could whatever. Yeah, and then career, obviously.
Yeah.
There's no end game.
Nice, short and sweet.
Yeah.
What is the end game?
Avengers? The end game is to do this shit until it's time to go to heaven.
Betty
Like,
White.
Yeah.
like I always say, I'm like, I'm gonna Betty White this shit. I
It's a
can't
great
wait.
saying. Yeah.
I can't wait to be the old lady in movies.
She was literally an
That's-
influencer till she died.
Yeah. I think that's hilarious. I
Yeah.
wanna be the old lady in funny movies. Like,
I could so see you like on Twitter, like your 100th birthday, and you tweet out, you're like, I outdid I out Betty White because I made it to 100 or something like that.
Yeah, that's funny. Like hashtag still not canceled. You know, like yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, and just like make a cool impact while I'm making people laugh. Like that'd be awesome. Yeah. Ooh, what's the meanest thing you've ever done?
Oh, I was hoping you'd get that one.
He put it on top.
That's funny.
What is the meanest thing I've ever
Name
done?
is Danger.
Yeah, come on, Danger.
I don't know. I think just there's been like a couple times where people were just kind of like said something to me and I was in a bad mood and I just like went for their core. Like instead of, you know what I mean? Like if someone like, I brought like they brought a knife to a gunfight type of situation and I just like.
I'm going to ruin you emotionally.
Yeah, it's like if I'm like in a really bad mood and someone's just really irritating me, I can just say some really like fucked up shit that like the next day once I cool down, I'm like, yeah, I should probably text them and be like, yo, my B.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Are they still your friends?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, that's good.
Like, sorry, I have rage blackouts.
Wasn't me. I don't remember. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was other me. We'll have to talk about that. Cool.
All right.
That just made me think of what my meanest moment would be now.
I feel like you're gonna have 1,000 of these, so we can do a different one if you want. But what is the worst thing that anyone has ever said about you?
Oh gosh, whatever do I start? I don't even know. Actually, I do think it's like when people say that I'm like cruel in any way. That really bugs me. Like people have made up stories about me being abusive or whatever, and it's just like that's fucked up. Like you can say you don't like my comedy, you can disagree with the topics, you can whatever, but like going for the core of who I am and like my actual integrity, that's shitty.
It crosses a line.
It
for
kind of
sure.
does. It's like you
Yeah.
guys, it's like you're too stupid to understand that this is a TV screen and we're playing a game here and this is fun and entertainment. And you're like, I'm going to hurt this person. It's like, you're crazy. Yeah. That's the answer.
Fair
Your turn.
enough. Yeah.
This is a good game. Okay. Ooh, if you could say anything to one person in your life without any consequences, what would it be?
God.
Oh, man.
And you're putting Danger on the spot.
I know.
That's
I'm getting
hard.
all the hard ones here.
That's a hard one.
It's somebody in my life, like I know.
Yeah. No
Oh,
consequences.
God.
What would you say? What's her name? And what did you want to do to her? He laughs because that means there's someone.
There's not.
Yeah,
but,
no, I couldn't think of anyone.
fuck, what would I say? I don't know. I'll tell Ryland he can be a fucking douchebag sometimes.
Ooh.
Got to get the
know.
shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to get the shot. So,
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Ooh, that wasn't that bad.
No.
No. Okay, that was good.
That's why they call me Danger, because it's ironic. So.
Hey. Ironic. I'm hanging out with Danger. I actually love that with his fidget spinner. It's like
Fidget spinner, yeah. All right, I think we should do one more.
Okay, I'm
Wanna
in.
do one more.
One more round. One more round of cards.
If you could choose a way to die, what would it be?
I've actually thought about this before.
would it be quick or slow?
Quick.
Why would you want it to be slow?
Yeah,
don't know.
that's silly.
I feel like that's always a common question. Oh, would you want a slow death or a quick death? Because like a
Oh,
slow
if I
death
had
could
to
be
choose
skydiving
one.
without a parachute. That's kind of
Yeah,
slow.
but you
Yeah,
don't
it's
die
stupid.
until you hit the ground, and it's quick. You know.
But you have to think about, oh shit,
Like-
I don't have a parachute on until I hit the ground.
But like, I
Yeah.
feel like burning alive is like a slow death.
That's horrible. That's
Yeah.
horrible. That's
Yeah.
absolutely horrible. I also have like a fear of like, I don't like boats and I love the ocean, but it's so crazy to me. And I had like reoccurring dreams as a kid where like I'm drowning, that I'm just like, that to me is this most scariest.
like lost at sea.
Yeah, it's the scariest way to die. I don't like that. Actually, I'm sorry. I have to forfeit the game. I don't want to answer this because I believe what you speak out into the universe happens. I don't want to do it.
She's gonna be Betty White.
I can't do it. I'm going to be Betty White.
All right, I'll pull
That's
another
it.
one then.
Yeah, I can't do it. I was just like, no, that's bad
Bad
vibes.
juju.
Oh, who is the last person you stalked on social media?
It was probably today. Russell Brunson, I think. It was today. I was like, because I knew I was going to see him, so I wanted to make sure I was like up on everything that he was
Right.
doing. If that's real stalking, I don't know.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
Like
it counts.
real stalking, yeah.
I mean, there was a purpose that wasn't creepy. It's you
Yeah.
know, but it, you know.
is stalking ever really creepy, or is it just information intake?
Depends what kind of stuff.
I was gonna say I think
Okay.
if I'm showing
95%
up to
of
your
the time.
show like repeatedly, that's a little creepy, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's creepy.
That's weird stalking. But
Yeah.
like what you were doing, that's you're getting intel.
It's research.
Yeah, thank you. It's research. Even like
So is that
we've had this
stalking then, though?
discussion.
If it's
girls,
on the internet, it's public.
thank
Right.
you.
Yeah.
If I have to make a fake profile and then add your account and then get accepted, okay, yeah, that's stalking. But if it's
Yeah.
open and it's out for the public, it's just public knowledge.
Exactly. That's why I love when guys, I've heard this so many times and girls talk about it all the time too. It's like, oh my God, you were stalking me on social media. It's like, it's public.
Yeah.
I
I
just
don't want
clicked
it.
on the thing that you posted for me to click on.
Yeah.
Like, how is that stalking?
Yeah,
That's
no,
so
I,
weird.
I think like the definition of stalking on social media and in real life are different. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
stalking on social media is a lot less like weird and creepy than like actual stalking in real life, you know?
Yeah. I agree with you.
Someone's like, oh my God, they
For
scrolled
sure.
back to the first picture I ever posted and liked it. It's like, it's there. That's the point of it.
Why didn't you delete it yet?
Have you ever done that though, where you were stalking someone on social media
And
you,
accidentally liked
Like
it?
an
I did
old
it last
picture?
week. Last week.
I've
Yeah.
done it in a while.
yeah.
To a gentleman caller. And I just text him. I'm like, well, yep, I just did that. Looking at your old pics. Wanted to see if you had some surgery on your face or anything I need to know of in case we procreate. Guys should do that to all girls. If you're dating a girl, scroll way back to see if she had plastic surgery. Because you might be like, man, she's a total babe. My kids are going to be good looking, and they might
like
not.
a catfish.
Yes, filters and surgery are real things in 2022.
Yeah.
Filters
and-
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. And then your kid comes out looking totally different. And you'll be like, whoa. Just the things I think about. Okay, one for you. I don't even know if I answered your question. I probably did, though. Okay. Oh, that's cute. What was the most memorable class you've ever taken in college or school?
Ooh. I think it would be public speaking. I took that junior year in college.
Fun.
Just it kind of helps you get over stage fright. And like I was the one who was like, I was nervous, and so my way of overcoming that was I'll volunteer to go first on the first day every
Yes.
single time. So you get it out of the way, you're not compared to anybody, and people are gonna look at you not as like, oh, he's waiting to go last. He's that kid. He's like, damn, that motherfucker went first. You know?
Yes.
So
Good attitude.
it was that class, and then last fall I took media performance class, like Media Pro 311. And I had to do perform like a monologue from a movie. So I did the You Can't Handle the Truth
Nice.
from what's that movie called?
Jerry Maguire. No. What
It's
am I?
with Jack Nicholson
I
and
know
Tom
exactly
Cruise.
what you mean.
Yeah,
Training Day? No.
it's something true. I don't remember, but
They're all mashing up in my head now.
Yeah.
All the words are just
yeah. Well, yeah.
Boggling.
Anyway, so I had to do like a monologue with that, and then I did like a weather report, like a fake weather report, and I
That's
did, like,
fun.
yeah. So probably those two classes because they help like get out of your shell, and I think like communication's like the most like effective skill to have, really.
Yes.
So those classes are like I think were the most beneficial that I actually like took away from. Yeah,
Especially when you host a video podcast.
yeah,
there you go.
helped a lot. Yeah,
When you do the things.
yeah,
Yay. That was it. That was our other
Cool.
one.
that was it.
Cool.
All right,
I guess plug time.
yeah. To wrap up, I guess what do you got going on next? What's in the future?
The Arbour Effect. Fact. You can probably subscribe right now already
Is
to
that
the
the
Arbour Effect.
YouTube?
That's
Instagram?
the podcast.
YouTube?
It's all over the place. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, it
Yeah.
will be. My YouTube is youtube.com/Nicole Arbour. I've been told I should care more about my subscriber count on this podcast. So go there. Instagram is IB Nicole Arbour. And Facebook is Nicole Arbour Fans. I will be around. And the Pain Free by 23 course is coming out. I'm really excited.
Sweet.
There we go. Well,
Yay.
Thanks for dropping by.
yeah, thank you
Thanks
guys
for
so much
having me.
for being on. It was a lot of fun. Make sure to like and subscribe and share this podcast. Follow us on Instagram at You Never Know Podcast. Until next time, you never know.
You never know. That's so
Dang.
fun.
You know?
Thank you for listening to this episode of the You Never Know Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe to our pod and follow us on our socials at You Never Know Podcast. Until next time, you never know.